Yes, thanks for staying with us. Hope you're enjoying the sports show. Time to turn our attention to bowls now. One of the great men of bowls, travelled around the country a fair bit, started in Kadina, now up at Meadows, and spent time with him about 12 years ago. He reminded me just as he came on. I talk about Heath Raymond. Heath, how are you?
Yeah, very good. Good to see you, Phil.
Good to see you. Now, mate, let's start with how bowls started for you. Kadina, as a young fella?
Yes, bowls started for me by coming off my motorbike and busting a leg up and having nothing to do on a Saturday afternoon.
So you've gone from
I've got an idea for you, Libby.
Start playing bowls.
Start playing bowls.
Yeah, with you. Just sign me up.
There you go. We're recruiting already.
But it doesn't quite have that little ring, motocross to bowls. Just
No.
no.
Well, like I say, I was limited. I couldn't play any sport for a couple of years. So Dad dragged me out on the bowls green and 1979, played my first game of pennants, and barring a couple of years due to work, I've pretty much been there ever since.
So 5 decades of bowls. Still passionate, still love it the same?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, certainly do.
Yep.
Haven't broken any legs playing bowls?
No,
No?
no, that's probably been one of the positives that's come out of it.
Yeah, and you mentioned 12 years ago. How did you meet up this guy with 12 years? I'm always looking for an angle on him.
I think it was through a promotion through work. That,
Yeah, it was.
and we had Phil join us for 4 dinners and go and meet some customers, and we travelled
fantastic.
through
He
Adelaide.
said it was hugely successful too.
Yeah, I bet he
I had a great time.
I
We don't
bet
know what
he did.
happened.
And now photography's the passion.
Yeah, certainly is. But yeah,
Okay, so I think, and with a focus on bowls, or is it outside of that?
it's a combination of both. I find it, as I say, it's still got the passion for the bowls. I'd find it hard to give it up. And had the passion for both around about the same time. Turned the parents' ensuite into a dark room when I was about 13 or 14.
Okay, wow.
So now I'm able to, through a partnership with Bowls SA and building a stock photography library for them, I'm able to put 2 passions together, and also helps me promote myself as a photographer.
I think that's the key to being successful, isn't it? You need to be passionate.
Yeah.
I mean, it's okay to be passionate about photography, but when you're passionate about the sport, that you're actually taking
comes
lifelong
across in the
pictures.
photos.
It comes across in the photos. You know, a bloke like Ray Titus has stood the test of time because he had a genuine passion for the images he was capturing.
Yeah.
And, you know, to have that passion meet is fantastic.
It's interesting. One of my mentors that I was speaking to at the place where I study, I was actually talking to him about it, and I was a little bit, which way do I go? Do I really want to do this? It's a big time commitment for me. And he just looked at me and he said, "You're the only man for the job."
So when you know that, Heath, there's an intricacy about bowls that you can delve into because you've played, when to take the right shot, when not to take the right shot. Have you been able to find a difference? Hypothetically, you're taking photos in the bush.
Yeah.
Have you found it easier to take photos of bowls or easier in the bush, or has it made any difference to you?
As a matter of fact, it's probably been one of the most challenging things that I've done. One of the hardest things I find is probably what I was promising to them, that I'd separate some of the shots from the backgrounds, because that was what I was noticing what was lacking. And that's been really difficult to do, and it's challenging me.
When you say separating from the backgrounds, what does that mean?
Having a background that's just far too busy with the trees and a school and a light pole in the background, and trying to get those out of there. And of course now I'm finding that I'm having difficulty doing that myself, and already I'm coming, but working on it, taking the feedback to Bowls SA and saying we need to look at venues, locations, so I can give them what they're
You can't
after.
Photoshop them post-shot?
You can, but
You don't want to,
Takes away the
ideally.
authenticity.
time-wise,
Yeah.
and also that's part of challenging myself as part of the skill, to be able to limit the time that you spend sitting in front of a computer, because that's not the fun time of photography.
Mate, is it all on the green? Because we've had some great characters in here over the journey from bowls, and I reckon some of them will be some really
About
interesting
50-50.
shots off the green. So will people get a chance to see a wide range?
Yeah, but they're all under review at the moment.
Yeah.
Well, there's a couple that would be under review all the time.
But that certainly is the plan. Yeah, that we will, go beyond the green, but also try and get a variety of different shots as well as a variety of different activities, because social bowls is pretty much, it's the future of the clubs. It's a big future for bowls, but it certainly is the future of a lot of the clubs, is the success of their social competitions.
And I'm really pleased that Bowls SA have chosen this path, because it's really an important component that probably goes overlooked. If you can capture the emotion, the fun, all of those elements, and then put that to a wider audience, and don't we see that so much in social media now? All of a sudden, it's just reaching that person, tickling their interest, getting them involved is usually half the battle. But if you can do that through your role, it's a really forward-thinking initiative by Bowls SA, so well done to them.
Yeah, and it is, and like I say, and if I can participate and contribute something back by helping them with that, and like I say, it's going to help me as well, more than happy to help that way, and like I say, combine the two passions.
All right, we want to get on to your career in a minute, but just quickly, night bowls now has become really popular.
Yeah.
Photographing night as opposed to day?
And that's one of the things that we're planning a shoot in a couple of weeks' time, that we will tackle the night hours, because as you say, it's probably one of the biggest competitions and fastest growing competitions. It's a lot of the way that people are introduced to the clubs, and it's one of the things that they want to promote, more so because, as I was saying before, that social bowls is very much, clubs are very dependent on their social bowls competitions.
All right, you're up at Meadows playing pennant, and you're also playing at Marion.
Yes.
Started in Kadina. Is there a big difference, perhaps, say, bowling at Meadows? Is there a tighter knit group than bowling at Marion, or they're all pretty much the same?
Huge difference. Meadows is social. We struggle to get people out to practice. It's a smaller competition. It's people with a Saturday enthusiast is probably the best way to describe it. Where Marion stopped in there last Thursday night for a drink and throw a few bowls down. Next minute I know I'm in a team meeting for the next hour about last week's performance. But I can't disclose any further on those discussions.
Well, we've spoken to a wide range of sports people, all three of us over the journey, and you would have as well. But I think the consistent factor about bowls is that I don't think there's been too many negatives over the journey. You know, you talk about football and injuries, or soccer and injuries, or umpiring, whatever it is.
And it gets
with
everybody
bowls,
involved.
with bowls, there is just this beautiful foundation built on all the great elements of being involved in sport: social, competitive. From a physical point of view, you can be all shapes, sizes, ages, sex, and you can be involved. And I think that's a great thing.
I see a lot of friends when shun bowls, and then when they finally get out there, they just become converts. And so, you know, I've got a friend recently he's just an addict now. He just can't get him off the bowls green, and I'm constantly not returning his phone calls because I know that he just wants to go out for another roll.
Another
Right, you
team
need to
meeting.
get a look at Heath Raymond's photos. There's going to be some beauties coming out. All the best with the photography, mate. Certainly the three of us will be up at Meadows for a bowl because we don't qualify competitively.
And a drink. I'll come for a drink.
Well, that would be the big killer. Hey, thanks for joining us. We need to go to a break. Stay with us. Still plenty to come.